Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. And I'm grateful to each and every single one of you for choosing to invest in your development as a leader. Can you believe that we are already more than halfway through the month of January in 2025? We are about at that point in time each year when many leaders start falling off the goals that they have set for themselves. And so I want to take some time today to talk that through and give everybody a chance to refocus and reset for the year. The year always starts strong. Leaders are excited about the future and what they are going to be working on. The first 2 weeks always go great. Progress is made and leaders are feeling really good. And then they give themselves a small pass. And you'll say that you'll pick it back up tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into the next day, and then that turns into the next. And before you know it, you're completely off track. And again, that starts about this time every year. Think about all the New Year's fitness resolutions that are set. Gyms are packed the first 2 weeks of January. It's hard to find available machines. The gyms tend to be a little bit more messy than normal because those that are new or maybe not consistent, they forget about gym etiquette, and it's really hard for their staff to be able to keep up with the high volume of people that come into the gym the first couple weeks of the year. Yet the regulars that are there every week throughout the year, they know, just give it another week. And around this time, the volume of people starts to drop off, and in another week or two, they'll be back to about the normal crowd. So why does this happen? Well, one of the main reasons that this happens is that we're not really trained to set goals that truly inspire us and connect back to the true vision that we have for our lives and our leadership. We get really tactical with our goals, and we adopt the SMART goal process where the R is realistic because this is what we were trained to do. Yet when we set realistic goals, they don't inspire and motivate us. They don't motivate us to keep moving forward, especially when things get tough, which they will. They don't drive us to get out of bed in the morning, excited for the day in our future. We play it safe with our goals. Our subconscious mind knows it, so it allows us to give up easily. Bob Proctor has a quote that I really like, and he said that if you don't get the chills when you set your goals, you're not setting big enough goals. So when you look at your goals and you're thinking about what you've set for yourself for the year, do your goals give you chills? Do they scare you a little bit? Do your goals put butterflies in your stomach? If not, then you're not reaching far enough and not challenging yourself enough. Your goals should scare you a little bit. They should seem so big that it gets you a little bit worried and excited all at the same time. When you set a big goal, it changes something inside of you and how you show up each day. It forces you to step up into a higher level and outside of your comfort zone. It changes what's possible and what your future could be like. It makes you look at everything from a completely different perspective. Now, if you haven't set goals for this year, or you find yourself needing to reevaluate the goals that you set because you started to fall off, I have a couple frameworks that I want to share with you today. These frameworks are going to help you refocus and establish the vision that you have for your future and for your leadership journey. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with sharing with you 10 areas of life and leadership. I want you to evaluate your current state in each of these areas on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is needing serious improvement or changes, and you don't feel good about it at all. And a 10 is you currently wouldn't change a thing, and that you're enjoying this area of life and leadership and that it's going really well for you. I encourage you to really be honest and vulnerable with yourself about where you would rate yourself. We are not all 10s in all 10 areas all at the same time. We are not all 1s in all areas all at the same time. So while I do want you to be very honest and vulnerable with yourself, I also don't want you to be so hard on yourself that you really get down on where it is that you are at in your leadership journey. Now, you might find that you have several areas that you are really struggling in, and that's perfectly normal, and that's perfectly okay. This is not an assessment to, again, beat yourself up. This is an assessment just for you to really get a feel for where are you currently. Now, the first 4 areas, they are going to be personal focused. We are holistic human beings, and if we are not building the life that we desire at home, nothing we do in our leadership is going to matter. Great leadership starts with ourselves and making sure we have the routines, the goals, and the fulfillment in our personal lives first. After all, if you are running up the corporate ladder, achieving quote unquote success, but your personal life is falling apart, does anything you do at work really matter? By the way, the answer is no, because your organization, they will post your job opening tomorrow if something were to happen to you, while your family grieves for the rest of their lives. So leadership is all about finding that balance between life and leadership. And again, that starts with making sure that we have our personal lives in order first. Because when we are better at home, that translates into our leadership. All right, so let's dive in. We're going to go through these 10 areas. Area number 1 is your health and wellness. This includes your sleep, your nutrition, exercise, not just physical health, but your mental and your spiritual health. It all falls into this particular area. Where would you rate yourself when you would take an honest look at your health and wellness? Area number 2, that's your personal relationships. So this could be families, friends, mentors. It's the ones that are closest and most important to you. How is your relationship with them? Are you showing up in a way that you truly desire to show up in those relationships? Are they bringing you fulfillment and joy? Are you bringing them fulfillment and joy? Rate yourself in this area on a scale of 1 to 10. All right, area number 3 is finances. And yes, I'm talking about your personal finances. They matter. Do you have a financial plan? Do you have debt that is causing you stress? Are you living to paycheck? Or do you have that emergency fund built up in case something happens? Are you saving for your future in the way that you desire to save for your future? Money drives the decisions in our leadership. And when you are not stressed about money, you will make better decisions as a leader. You'll pursue the roles that really truly align with you, and you're not chasing what is the next raise that I can get because I need to find a way to make more money. So really take an honest look at your personal finances and are things where you desire them to be. Area number 4 is our emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence, it's our ability to distinguish, understand, and have a greater awareness of how our thoughts and our feelings impact our behaviors, and being able to help others learn the same thing. So this, when you think about emotional intelligence, think about things like your internal motivation, your self-awareness, your self-regulation, empathy, your social awareness. How would you rate that for you? All right, area number 5. This is influencing and inspiring others. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. That's a quote from John Maxwell that I've used many times here on the podcast. So think back and look at your leadership journey and how are you influencing and inspiring others? This includes your direct reports, your peers, your leadership, your family, your friends. Are you a person of influence, and are you a person of inspiration and aspiration? Or is this an area that you need to do some work on? Rate for yourself where you think you are. All right, number 6, productivity. Productivity, this is all about your inputs and your outputs. Are you able to get done what you need to, personally and professionally? Are you doing what you say you will, by the deadlines, and with a level of quality that you and others expect? Do you have clarity, focus, and alignment with the work that you need and want to do? And are you getting it all done and still feeling great, or completely burnt out at the end of the day? Are you focused on the right things? Just because you are busy does not mean you are productive. You need to be working on what really matters, what really moves the needle, not the busy work just to pass the time. And again, it's not about checking the boxes. This is about being able to get things done while maintaining your mental well-being. Do you feel good about it, or are you completely exhausted? It makes a difference. All right, area number 7 is your coaching mindset. As a leader, are you leading with curiosity or conviction? Are you asking questions or giving answers? A coaching mindset is always one of curiosity. It's asking questions. It's believing the other person has the answer they desire and that you are there to help guide them in finding it. So where are you at with leaning into and leading with a coaching mindset? Area number 8 is business acumen. Business acumen, it's about being able to understand and manage the business effectively. It's a combination of knowledge, skills, and experiences. This is about things like your key performance indicators. What's the life cycle of your client? Can you do a risk assessment? There's different business functions that happen, business operations, understanding your marketplace and your industry. It's not just about understanding what all these different aspects are. It's also about being able to work through them objectively and effectively. So rate yourself on business acumen. Where are you at today? Area number 9 is vision and strategy. Do you have a vision for the future? Not just for your team, but for yourself. What are the short and long-term goals? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And with whom are you doing it with? Leaders need to be able to see more and before others, and they need to have a clear vision for the future. And are you thinking strategically? Strategic thinkers, they are able to use critical thinking skills to solve complex problems and be able to plan for the future. They think through the vision, the objectives, the obstacles, and they're able to address those challenges. So vision and strategy becomes a really key component for any leader. So where are you at with vision and strategy? All right, area number 10 is dynamic communication. Are you able to communicate with a variety of people in a variety of ways and truly be able to connect with them? So this is all about your written communications, verbal communications, emails, letters, memos, text, chats. We have so many ways that we communicate today. So, can you communicate in all those different ways and have a dynamic communication about it? This is about public speaking, small groups, large groups, one-to-one conversations. Maybe it's one-to-two conversations, one-on-two conversations, right? It's also about being able to communicate with people all throughout the organization. So your direct reports, your peers, your key stakeholders, cross-functional teams and project groups that you might be a part of, your clients, right? Maybe executives, different levels of leadership throughout the organization. Are you a dynamic communicator, and how do you feel about your communication skills? Not just the execution of them, but being able to communicate with different people and being able to communicate in different ways. All right, those are our 10 areas of leadership. So now that we've reviewed them, now what, right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one or two. And yes, only one or two, because you can't truly focus on them all. I want you to pick one or two, not necessarily your lowest rated areas either. Pick the one or two that truly are most critical for you to level up this year. Or maybe there are areas that you're like, I'm really excited about digging deeper into. Maybe it's vision and strategy. And that's an area that you want to focus on. And maybe you're kind of middle of the road. Maybe you rated yourself a 5. I would, again, pick one or two that you really want to focus on. And let's talk about what can you do with each of those areas. So now that you have your one or two, I'm going to give you 5 steps to follow with each of them. These steps are going to help you kind of map out your plan and really think about how can you reset and refocus your goal for the year and make the progress that you truly desire. So as you look at each area, let's go through these 5 steps. Step number 1, you have to start with defining success. What does this look and feel like for you at this stage in your leadership? If you're going to sit here at December and look back over the year, what do you want to have accomplished? What does success look like? And that might not be getting from, if you were a 5 all the way to a 10. Know what a 10 looks like and what's the progress that you want to make this year. Maybe that's moving from a 5 to a 7 because you want to strengthen just a couple key aspects of that this year that you really want to go deep on. Get clear on what success looks like for you. It's different for everybody, and it's going to be different for each of the different areas that you've chosen to focus on. So get clear on success for that particular area. Step number 2, define your objectives. What are the goals and milestones that you need to achieve in order to get your vision of success to come to fruition? Where do you need to be putting your focus? This is where you're going to break down that definition of success. If success looks like, being able to cast a clear vision, what are the different goals and milestones that you need to be setting in order to be able to cast a clear vision? It might be investing in a course. It might be connecting with other leaders. It might be writing out your vision and sharing it with some others to get feedback and then coming back to it. Some of it might be testing it out with your team. Decide what those goals and milestones are for you so you know what are the objectives that you need to accomplish this year. Step number 3, think about your challenges. I know it sounds counterintuitive. We want to focus on all the great things, Shannon. I want to focus on how I can make progress. Challenges are a piece of that. So I want you to really think through what are the obstacles and challenges that will get in your way. What are the things that you know about you that always stop you from achieving success? What will trip you up and hold you back? You don't want to get caught off guard when these things happen, and challenges and obstacles always come up. So it's best to be prepared for them. So you can either get proactive and say, I know that I'm always going to get tripped up. Maybe it's this time of month. Maybe it's the first week of the month. Maybe that's a very busy week for you and your team. It might be high volumes of escalations that come in. It just might be increased volumes in work. What can you do to navigate through that? It might be specific times of the year that you know. It might be the summer. Maybe the summer trips you up because maybe you have kids at home and you don't always have the dedicated time or the quiet time that you had before when they were in school all day. And maybe you need to be prepared for that. And maybe one of your goals and objectives might be going to the office more frequently versus working from home, or setting some boundaries with your family of, when I'm at work, these are the times that you can interrupt me. Think through whatever that happens to be for you. But again, know what those obstacles and challenges are so you're not caught off guard with them. Getting caught off guard derails everybody. You want to be prepared because you have big goals that you want to achieve this year. So think through those things. What are the things you know about yourself that always cause you to miss doing something that you wanted to? All right, step 4 is all about rhythms and routines. What are the routines and rhythms that you need to set up in order to achieve your objectives and your definition of success? Rhythms and routines, they help us stay focused. They help us know that these are the things that I need to do in order to accomplish this. It might be refining your morning routine. It might be resetting up your evening routine so you sleep very well, right? It might be adjusting some things within your calendar to say, I'm going to have no meetings on Mondays and no meetings on Fridays, and all my meetings are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I have time to do my thought work. It might be just blocking out some specific times within your calendar. Think through what that is for you. Rhythms and routines help you keep that momentum. They help you make that small progress day to day, week to week, which is going to then help you chip away at your objectives and your definition of success and actually get your goal complete. Step number 5, reinforcements. Who is going to be part of your accountability team? We don't achieve our goals alone. We achieve them with others. And that might be having somebody that's there to help hold you accountable that you can check in with. It might be sharing your goals with your team, your leader, your peers, so they know what you're working on. It might be hiring a coach, looking for a mentor, connecting with a peer. Maybe you do some peer-to-peer, one-to-one accountability. But think about who is going to be part of your accountability team. Who are going to be your reinforcements that you're going to call in when you have one of those moments where you might be caught up in one of those challenges or obstacles and you might be stuck in how to get out of it? Or who can you check in with that might help you look through a rhythm or a routine a little bit differently to get you that little bit of extra 1% that you need to be able to move past a particular part of your goal? Again, we don't achieve our goals alone. So if you're trying to do this by yourself, you're automatically setting yourself up to fail, to not achieve the goals that you desire for yourself. So who are your reinforcements? Now, you might be thinking, this is going to take forever. How will I ever get through all of this? And maybe it will take you a little bit of time at first. It takes time to plan, and you're better off investing that time now to create that clear path forward, to give yourself an outline and a roadmap of what are the things that you're going to work on. It's better to take that time now and plan than wandering about your year and then being in December looking back wondering, well, what have I done? I didn't accomplish anything. If all of this was quick and easy to do, everybody would be doing it, and they are not. But you are, because you have made the decision already to level up your leadership and to invest in your goals for the year and being able to look back in December and be proud of the work that you've done. I appreciate you tuning in this week, and we're going to wrap up this episode here. I do hope that you take the time to reassess and reset your goals for the year if that's what you need to do. The you in December is going to thank the you of now for taking that time to invest in yourself and to do the work to make sure that you've set yourself up for success this year. Until next time, my fellow leaders, Lead with confidence. Show up every day as a leader that you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.